Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode with P&M's Movie Criticisms. I'm Miss M.
And I'm Miss P.
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having a wonderful New Year so far, right? 2026.
Whoa, 2026.
Yes, 2026. So, Miss P, you know what to do.
Since it's a new year, you want to try something little different.
I did. I didn't say you know what time it is.
Uh, you know what? You don't need no hype. You better hype yourself up. Hey, you don't need no hype. You better hype yourself up. You don't need no hype. You better hype yourself up. Hey, you don't need no hype. You better hype yourself up.
We get the P&M movie criticism with the hot sauce. P&M movie criticism with the zizz. Yeah, P&M movie criticism with the hypnotism. P&M movie criticisms. We tell you everything that's hot and everything.
Oh, that's right, Miss M.
Yeah, they know it. Speaking of which, today we are going to review The Running Man. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's back.
In full effect.
Yeah,
2025, The Running Man.
that's right. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, it's actually a remake from the original The Running Man that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, just in case you didn't know. Now you do. All right, let's get this party started. Let's talk about rating it. So up at the top, we have the Carolina Reaper. Nothing's hotter, nothing's better. This is pure silver screen perfection. Beneath that, we have the Ghost Pepper. It's hot, it's sizzling, but it's missing a crucial element that keeps it from being the Carolina Reaper. And then we have the Habanero. The Habanero it's got heat and it's a solid movie. Great for family night and dates nights. But simply, really, that's all it is. And beneath that, we have the jalapeno, which is at the lowest heat we can get. And so it's meh, just meh. And underneath that is the bell pepper. It is bland, and we want our money back. We want the minutes we spent with our lives back. Isn't that right?
Oh, that's right. Popcorn. Boo. Popcorn.
Yeah, pretty much, right? So, how do you rate The Running Man?
Give it like on the scale that we have, I'm going to give it a straight up habanero.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a habanero too. It could have been a ghost pepper. It could have.
It was right there on the precipice. Like if it had added like 2 or 3 more things that we'll probably talk about, it would have been a ghost pepper for me as
I
well.
couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, it definitely was that. I mean, well, it could have been, but hey, what can you say?
You know, it's just people doing their thing, making
Yeah,
movies.
pretty much, pretty much, pretty much.
But
All right.
let's break it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 9, here's our movie criteria that we have that we break down as well. It's number 9, do we like it? Number 8, is it historically accurate? Number 7, did it strike my emotions? Number 6, did it keep my attention? Number 5, what are the production elements? Number 4, what is the directing, the quality of acting? Number 3, number 2, sound and quality and effects. And number 1, cinematography.
Yeah, that's right, cinematography. So, yeah, pretty much. With that said, let's talk about it. Did you like it? Did you love it?
I I was very amused by it. It kept my attention. I can't say I loved it. I can't say I liked it. So it's in the middle. Like it's very much so I want to say I loved it, but I don't cuz it doesn't get the love. It was a really good movie.
It was. It was. It was a really good movie. So a quick synopsis. In the future, The Running Man is the top-rated show on television, a deadly competition where contestants must survive for 30 days while being hunted by professional assassins. Desperate for money to save his sick daughter, Ben Richards is convinced by the show's ruthless producer to enter the game as a last resort. Ratings soon skyrocket as Ben's defiance, instincts, and grit turn him into an unexpected fan favorite as well as a threat to the entire system. Ooh, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it's about and everything. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm with Miss P on it. Heh, what's next on our list?
The next thing on our list is it historically accurate? So because this is a remake, the first one was set in the year, um, 2019. It was set in 2019. And I'm like, "Oh, no. We've already lived past that." And it was more or less contained into one country. Like, it wasn't, like, free moving, like, you could move around. It was, like, contained. The first one was very, like it was contained in one area, and you could only move in certain ways in that little portion of town.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the original Running Man with our boy Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hey, wait, what's up, Arnold?
He wouldn't
Keep in
be
mind
back.
that, oh yeah, keep in mind that the movie was made in 1987. Yes. So, um, and it also, interestingly enough, had a budget of $27 million, but we'll get to that here. So, but when it comes to historical accurateness, oh, this is also another book by Stephen King too, if you didn't know. So, the thing about The Running Man is that this story, I feel like it's completely different from the other one. I mean, you have the same premise of the game show, but it's still very different from the original. What do you think, Miss P?
It's very different from the original. Um, the reason being how it's so different is because once again, it was all in one area, like the last one. And the premise of that game was, yeah, you win the money or whatever, but who was he really fighting for, himself or the people?
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. So I I think one of the things that makes this film a really high habanero and not a ghost pepper are a few things. For example, they needed to be more sober with the quips. Like the quotes, like for example, I like my bacon extra crispy.
That made me
Mm.
laugh so hard.
But there's a lot of quotes like this, and so like eh, they have all these things. Like, then they have those really cheesy lines. I know what they're doing, okay? They're using the cheesy lines that we've always used in television, especially old television. Like, hey, Richards, you making a coffee? You know?
Yeah, the puns that you would hear from I feel like some of those puns are stuff that you would hear in 1980s movies.
Yes. But they overdid it though. And so when he, And then Ben Richards, played by Glenn Powell, right? He's like, when he responds to Richards, you making coffee? And he's like, yeah, you take it. Cause he's throwing something at him and stuff. He's like, it's so stupid, but it's funny. And the thing is, and I like the quips and everything, right? As Miss P said, they're from like the 80s, and I like it, but I think it's overly done.
That's
So they could,
because oh, I'm sorry, Miss M.
oh no, please continue.
I think that it's the reason why that we like it so much is because it fits our humor, like the style of humor that we have. But I also feel like it's like paying homage to the 80s movie. Like
Yeah,
it's giving that little, like we tip our hat to you, sir. It's like
yeah,
that. Like
yeah,
they overdid it. Like instead of it being like one or two or three, it was like every like towards the end there. Like every 4 minutes, and then it started to be like every 2 minutes. Then it was like 1 minute, and it was like quit, quit, quit. Then it was like 30
Mm.
seconds.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And yeah, just more sobriety, please. More sobriety. Not that we didn't like it, not that we didn't love it, not that we didn't appreciate, don't mention the hot dogs, not that we didn't appreciate tune in and find out, or I like my bacon extra crispy. We liked it, it's just it was too much. So next time, tone it down. And that's one of the things, you gotta know when enough is enough, especially you're towing the line in film. It's hard to know when enough is enough. But you know what? If you need help knowing when enough is enough, talk to us, P&M, and we can help you with that.
There you go.
Anyway, what's next on the list?
The next thing is, did it strike my emotions? Yes, it struck my emotions 100%. This movie throughout, it had a beginning, middle, end. It had, the ending, then it had a fake double ending. It's just, I like things that make me happy. And it was like, the nice guy doesn't always finish last. He kicks everybody's butt,
Yeah, he does. He does a great job. He does a great job. Um, I think so. But that's all I have to say about that, though.
pretty much. Let me see. Next thing is, did it keep my attention? Yes. We sort of kind of answered that, I feel like, we combined that one and that one together. So did it keep my attention? Yes. Did it strike my emotions? Yes.
Yeah, I feel like for me, the narrative drive got stronger. I feel like in the beginning it was a little weak, and I was trying to understand things like, and eventually I think it took too long to understand that their baby, Ben Richards and his wife, like, they should have explained that the baby was sick from it was just a common flu that this baby had. That's it. That's all it was. It was the common flu this baby had, and they couldn't afford to take their baby to the doctor for the common flu. I think that should have been established earlier because when you can't treat your baby for something so common, I think that would pull on the heartstrings of the audience more. And Ben Richards' wife is played by Jamie Lawson. Hey, Jamie. So that was that, though. That's the only thing I would have to say about that.
Okay. Let me see. What were the production elements for you in this movie?
I mean, its production elements is good. The set's pretty decent. Sometimes the Hollywood eye does come in, but that's only for people who are professionals. So most people wouldn't even see that. Most of the time, Hollywood eye doesn't come in for me. And when I don't have the Hollywood eye, that's perfectly fine. And for those of you who don't know what the Hollywood eye is, the Hollywood eye is when film professionals watch a film and they can just see this movie set. They don't see a story, they don't see a setting. Like, for example, Dairy Maine or a farm or a ranch. What they see is a movie set, right? For them, they see backstage. And so nowadays, if you watch something and your Hollywood eye doesn't kick in, that's really, really good. And for me, there were a few times it did kick in. But overall, there were times with the plot, it kept me from really seeing it. So the plot had a lot going on in it. So the plot was pretty good. And as for production elements, let's see, this movie was $110 million. And box office wise, it has made 68,615,641. So that's domestically, that's making $37 million, 815,641, and internationally, that's $30,800,000. So hopefully this movie can pick up. The domestic opening for this movie was weak at 16,495,564. They did expect that it would have about a $20 million opening, but too bad. It didn't happen. What can you say?
Flopperson strikes again.
Yeah. Also, production elements as for making it seem futuristic, I thought that was pretty good. production design made things look like it was in the future, which was interesting. If you notice little details, like they don't have dollars, they have new dollars. So it kind of makes me think to myself, what's going on here when it comes to the new dollars? Like, did the economy collapse and they had to do new dollars? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. But if
Yeah.
you listen to what the girl said at the end, she was like, basically, it was the TV, which is kinda creepy, but it's like the media took over everything, and so if it's not selling through the media, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. And what else about production elements? You know what else I want to say about the production elements?
What?
Weak casting. The casting could have been better. Casting is everything. And casting should never be underestimated. Glenn Powell as Ben Richards. I think he's good, and I think that he wasn't used the way he could have been. And I'm talking about also on like the movie covers and everything, especially where he has the full frontal going on. He's a pretty good actor, but for some of those it was covers where he's full frontal looking at you, I feel like it's weak, and that is almost somewhat comical when I don't think it should be. And he's a good enough actor, so it could have been better. So he could have been directed better because he's a good actor. And at that point, it's really not the actor, but it's really actually the director or whoever. Like you there when he's taking the pictures, you gotta approve it, right? But anyways, um, let's see. Lee Pace. Huh. We know Lee Pace.
We do.
We do, we do. We know Lee Pace. He is from, oh my goodness, The Fall. He's from The Fall.
Yes, he is.
I think he's better with his mask on, I think, but that's just my opinion.
Here's the thing, the main guy he played Arrow, he played Green Arrow in the CW for a long time. Before it got switched over to the new guy, he played Arrow on, I wanna say, uh no, it's Green Arrow. He got his from Smallville and then played Green Arrow for like 5 or 6 seasons and then went on to do something. So it's not like he's, like, not a good actor. He's a very good actor. He's well trained.
Yeah.
It's just you're right, they had him weak. Like, I think if he woulda had better counterparts, like the little boy that helped him, I liked him,
Ooh.
and, the little boy that helped him and his brother, definitely liked him. Them as a duo, they did really good, getting him into
Yeah,
Dairy Maine. But it's just
yeah, definitely.
the acting. Like, it wasn't that the acting was bad, it was just poorly I wouldn't even say maybe it was just written bad. Like, there were certain parts where it's just like, bad writing, bad writing.
Writing makes everything. It really, really does. But there are also some characters that could have been better. Daniel Ezra as Bradley, is it Throckman? He's I liked his acting. He was pretty good. He was pretty good. And then who else?
I like Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. He was good. He was falling a little flat until he started to get into his I like my bacon extra crispy when he started to get on the go and mayhem started to ensue. But again, I think that's direct and because he is a very good actor, and I enjoyed Michael Cera's part as Elton Parakis. I think that was great. I think that the antagonist could have been stronger, like as Evan McComb, Lee Pace. That could have been stronger, but as for his acting, I'm gonna say that this is also on directing. There's so many things you could do because his voice was not menacing. You remember when they were on the TV show and he was saying things, he just didn't sound menacing, right? He sounded like a really weak antagonist. And I didn't like that. And I thought that his voice was important because his face is covered for most of the movie.
Uh-huh.
With his face covered, his voice needs to sound more menacing. Well, that's just my opinion, but it was too weak. Now, if he perhaps had his mask off the entire time, then it would've his voice would have fit his face, but it
Yeah.
didn't. It didn't match, so they needed to do more with his voice. You don't need to necessarily change the actor. You can use voice modulators or something to change his voice, make it sound more menacing and threatening, and then towards the end, when he does take his mask off, you can reveal maybe the real voice now that you have the real face, that now that you have seen it. So that's my only complaint about the antagonist because your protagonist can only be as good as the antagonist. The harsher the antagonist, the more superior the protagonist. And that's where for me it fell a little flat. I didn't like how they used the voice. Josh Brolin, I think, was good, but you know who really drew me into this movie?
Who?
Coleman Domingo as the host of our TV show, The Running Man. He
Yeah.
really drew me in.
Now his voice the whole time, even though we did see him, he kinda reminded me of the guy from The Hunger Games. Like, how he made like, how The Hunger Games was kinda like, I'm watching this." He made it interesting, he made you wanna watch. He made you wanna tune in. Like, it was
He's
kinda like,
gone.
"Watch, watch." You know you wanna watch it. And his voice is what drew me in because I liked his voice.
Yeah, that was a really good casting choice. Excellent casting choice. You couldn't have done better. You just couldn't have. I don't think you could have done better with Coleman Domingo. I don't think you could have done better with Josh Brolin playing Dan Killian. He was really annoying me, which means he was doing the job, right? And Glenn Powell as Ben Richards. Hey, Glenn, he draws me in more and more and more and more throughout the movie. Because I was just like, from the movie cover, I was like, really? You couldn't have done a movie cover? Of course, there are different movie covers, but and you always choose your most powerful movie covers, please. Um, yeah. Oh, and the OG, William H. Macy, but he was in there for a short time. And Katie M. O'Brien as Jenny Loughlin, she's the chick, because remember they have teams.
Uh-huh.
So Ben Richards, he's on a team with Tim Jansky, played by Martin Hurley. Hurley, hey, Martin, and with Katie. But anyways, that's the only thing I have to say about production elements. So for location, casting, and price, I think that it was very, very daring for them to do what they did, how they did it, because I feel like this movie is a commentary on contemporary times. What do you think?
It's more than just a commentary. It's showing you, "Hey, guys, if you don't calm down, this is what's gonna happen." It's giving us a play-by-play of what's really physically gonna happen, and it's happening. So, I mean, I don't know.
There's something that the host says when he's presenting the characters, just like in the original The Running Man, the contestants are demonized, and Ben Richards yells, "It's not true, it's not true," and Coleman Domingo's character turns around and says, "No, wait, wait." Ben Richards says, "Bull, beep," and then Coleman Domingo says, "This is showbiz, kid," right? And and then later when they do visit Derry, Maine, remember there goes Derry, that's where it is, right?
Uh-huh.
When we go to visit Derry, it's so funny because his mother, Elton's mother, Elton is helping Ben, but Elton's mother is like, "You're a criminal, you're a criminal, yeah," and and they believe everything they see on television. And then we have Amelia Williams. She comes in later. Ben Richards eventually runs into her. Not going to tell you exactly how or when. You're going to have to watch the movie to find out. She's played by Amelia Jones. Hey, Amelia. Amelia is the same way. She believes that Ben Richards is a criminal. She believes everything she sees and hears on television. If it's on television, especially a major broadcast network, it equals true. But does it though? Does it?
Oh, no, it's broadcasting. You have to remember propaganda always has its way of making people believe it.
And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. And it got me thinking about the movie Network, the 1976 movie. You remember Network? I know you do.
Oh, yeah.
And for our viewers who haven't seen Network, it was so funny. It was like maybe 10 minutes before, um, 10 minutes before. And I had forgotten the budget for this film, so I went to go look at it, and there's all these sources, but I went to Variety. Variety mentioned Network, and I was like, "Haha, so we're on the same page." Interesting. Very interesting. Because that's the first thing I thought. And as always, Miss P and myself, we do not watch any reviews before we review a film. But we don't look at reviews even we don't look at reviews before we watch a film. So Network was already in my mind and it was probably in your mind. Did you see any connections to Network?
Yes, yes, which I was like, "Oh, no." But you know what I also thought I saw a
Mhm.
connection to? Was They
Mhm.
Live. I'm a weirdo, I know, but check it. Groupthink is just as strong as like subliminal messaging. It's the same thing, it just targets differently. If you can get 5 to 10 people to believe the same thing, those 5 to 10 people will spread, and it spreads. It's group thinking. It's like, "This is bad because we say it's bad." Well, why is it bad? We don't know, but we've been told that it's bad, so we believe that it's bad. And in They Live, it's kinda like you can't see it unless you have the glasses on to show you that they're saying obey and reproduce and, just things like that. I saw that comparison because I was just like, it's the same thing, just different ways that they're going about doing the same thing. It's all about mass control in both movies. It's mass control. Even with the network and the, Running Man, oh my gosh, control, because it's the network. It's the network controlling everything, and they have the goons to go that's what happened at the end of Network. It turned
Pretty
into
much.
its own Running Man. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, I was just saying pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So, definitely. And the thing about movies that are commentaries about things, and society, most of the times, do they do that well? You know? Do they? I don't really think people like seeing such stark comparisons to their reality.
No, no.
It's just my opinion. People like escaping. That's why they watch entertainment. They like to escape and be teleported to another world. That's why it's called the silver screen.
I feel like we talked about the directing and the acting. The only
Yeah.
2 things that we haven't talked about is sound quality and effects, which we kinda did, but we
And
haven't talked about cinematography. Well, we kinda touched on it.
yeah, I mean, I think sound quality and effects, that's spot on. I think the effects are great. But I think it's talking about the use of AI. There's a scene in the movie where Ben Richards is talking to the producer. And the producer Ben Richards says to the producer, Dan Killian, hey, why don't you just create it and make it yourself? Why don't you just create the images? And the producer is like, well, we tried, but there's just something about humans that make it come to life. And I don't want to say too much, really, but so spoiler alert for those of you who don't want any details. Basically, what else are they using but AI to create unsavory images, right? And this is a movie that's set in the future. So this means AI is more potent and more advanced than ever. A commentary about how AI can and perhaps may be used in the future. That's all I gotta say.
I agree because
Yeah.
it's the same thing, like, it's already starting to happen. We have ChatGPT, and they have voices and all this other stuff that you can we have, Hey Google, we have Gemini, we have Alexa, we have Echo, we have all these things that we talk to, and they just, "Yeah, this, that, and the other." Huh, huh,
Yeah. And the voices are becoming more and more human, and you can clone your voice.
and that's scary to me.
What? Like, you can really clone your voice. Like, they get your voice and they can make, and what's not to say that with technology, they couldn't hire an actor to give an emotion and then cover the actor's voice and with your voice.
Suing,
Yeah,
suing.
suing. You are suing. But anyways, that's one of those things. But yeah, let's talk about cinematography.
My favorite thing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Cinematography for this movie was great. The darks weren't too dark. You could see everything. My favorite thing was when he was first getting entrapped. The why failed. And he was like, why is this happening? Which was a quip. Loved it. But it was also a physical thing. And the light bulbs were falling out of the why. So it was funny. Let me see, what else did I like? The plane scene. It was a futuristic plane, but it did what it was supposed to do. Uh, there was a lot of CGI, but it wasn't overdone to the point where I was like, "This is horrible."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. My only complaint is that for the shot design, we could have had more shots of the baby. And I know filming babies is not just really that easy. You don't have a lot of time to capture it, because they're babies. They only have about so much time they can spend on set before they need to go. But I don't care. This is $110 budget. Get your shots of the baby that you need.
Yeah.
After all, this is why Ben Richards is going on the show. There are often times when the baby is with Ben, and more times when the baby is with his wife Sheila, that the baby's head is turned away from the camera, or the baby's head and the face are kind of cut out, and I don't like that. The baby is the whole reason he is sacrificing himself. So get the shot. That's the only thing I gotta say.
Yes. Get the shot. Because if
Get
you
it.
don't, it's trash.
Exactly. That's the whole reason you're doing this. It's the whole thing. $110. Get the shot. Hook the audience emotionally. You know how babies are. Babies and pets. Babies and animals. They're your money shot. Get your money shot.
But people wanna do what they're gonna wanna do.
Just not for a $110 price tag you want.
But that's what they did.
Yeah, and now it's flopping.
That's what happens when your movies flop.
Mhm, 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 mhm. Yeah, Miss M said it. She said it, and I'll say it again. Get your money shot. I mean, you got a nice shot of Sheila Richards when she bent down to get her baby out the crib, showing off all the legs,
Pretty much.
right? That's a money shot. But you didn't get everything you could have gotten with the child. It was just I didn't like it. It was weak. They did better with the images of the baby towards the end, but that doesn't matter. Because you hooked the audience in the beginning. Ah, I tell you. So Miss P and I, we can be film snobs, but hey, that's what we got our degrees in, right?
Yeah, can't help it.
Can't help it. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, just like and follow us on all of our social media. Any social media you can think of, we probably have it. PNN Movie Criticisms. You can look us up on Google. You can look us up online. You can look us up even on TikTok, YouTube, and we're right there.
That's right. Follow us and make movie suggestions for us. We would love to engage with you politely. We would love to hear your movie suggestions. So, yeah, that's it. Blah, blah, blah. You know what it is. Like Sarah's response. How many times have you heard it? But we love you. Hey, I'm Miss M, and I'm about this P.
And I'm Miss P. Bye.
See y'all later.